it felt like another place, another dimension. I knew that I wasn't on Earth. I knew that I had left. I knew that I was in this other space. And the space is just, I mean, the feeling of what it feels like to be in that space is so beyond words. It's like this absolute feeling of unconditional love. And I was so happy to see her. And even though I could only see one being, and she definitely had like a female kind of feel to me, she felt like the spokesperson for a larger council of light or a larger group of beings. And the conversation I had with this being was about, I had a lot of concerns. I was saying, wow, that was much more difficult than I thought. I'm not sure this setup is going to work. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do if I continue. This setup is hard, and I've been having such a hard time. I've completely forgotten who I am. I'm having a hard time speaking. I am just challenged. I'm wanting to, kill myself. I'm just having a really challenging time, and I'm not at all sure that this setup is going to work. I kept saying setup, or that's the word that always comes back to me. And so this guide was, we were reviewing the intentions that you had for this life.
When you are reviewing your life as well as seeing potential futures, would you see these lives up on a screen?
It was kind of like on a screen. I mean, I don't remember exactly. It all happened so fast. And the conversation I had with this being was about, I had a lot of concerns. I was saying, wow, that was much more difficult than I thought. It all happened so fast. I knew there was this epic transformation in consciousness. I knew that we were going to be sort of at the start of moving from fear-based consciousness into heart-based consciousness. There's this absolute feeling of oneness with all the different beings that are playing different roles in this kind of crazy, game that you're involved in. And they showed me that it was a very, the probability of my sister having a much more difficult time in life if I didn't go back was pretty high. And they don't understand why they're trapped in these cycles of sabotage and hurting themselves. And I did that to myself for many years. And it's like when you start to look at your challenges from a different lens, and instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Why can't I get this right? Instead of being hard on ourselves, we start to say, okay, if this is happening in my life, then it must be happening for me, and there must be something here for me. Look at your challenges from a different lens, and instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Why can't I get this right? Instead of being hard on ourselves, we start to say, okay, if this is happening in my life, then it must be happening for me. different lens, and it must be happening for me, different lens, and it must be happening for me, different lens, and it must be happening for me.